All right, I'm back. Boom. All right, welcome to another real estate lunchbox. My name is Leon Duncan. I'm a real estate agent, real estate broker, investor, hard money, private money lender in the real estate space for the last 18 years. I would say 15 because I took 3 years and worked in corporate, but still, I was still in the space. I flipped property, wholesale property. I've probably done over 75 wholesales and like a couple hundred helping investors, people buy and sell property. But this is my space. This is what I enjoy doing. So in this program, Real Estate Lunchbox, we tailor in culture, news, along with the real estate uh, happenings in the city of Atlanta and throughout the whole country too, because the goal is if you understand how to actually, if you understand it, you can make money in any type of real estate market. And that is what I'm endeavoring to show you how to do, how we do it. Whether you have a wholesale deal and you're trying to wholesale it, money isn't made when the market is good. Money is made when the market is bad. And the worse the market is, the worse someone's going to come out with a bigger bag. That's really it. So I am chilling over here. It's nasty outside. And but your boy got my coffee, definitely got my water, and I have got a good amount of things we can sit down and we can talk about today. Largely because we are in a very weird place right now, bro. Like a very weird place. Cool place, but weird place in our country. Yeah, cool, but very kind of weird. Like we are in a place right now where man, my favorite president of all time is messing with him. My favorite president of all time. Man, I'm going to tell you, Donald Trump is my favorite president of all time, dude. I'm telling you, he is my favorite. Some people don't like that, but I like it, man. Donald Trump is the freaking beast. This dude is a beast. And I hear people, I get asked these questions, Leon, what do you think? Well, Donald Trump turned around and he said this. That was very mean. Like, God wouldn't like that. Bro, shut up. Honestly, shut up. You sit back and you think David he was just a nice guy. Hold it, Solomon, he was so nice. That's how he had wisdom. It was Saul. Saul, even after God dethroned. No, he didn't dethrone. He anointed David. Saul was still hanging around that piece as the president, as the head of the country, the king. I think for a good 30 plus years. 30 plus years. He was still the king of Israel. That means 30 plus years, David, even after being anointed, was still getting in, he was still positioning him to run or to reign over Israel. Do you guys, I think a lot of people misconstrue, they get confused of what God is and who God is. And they think God is this type of, I don't know, you do good, you get good. That's what it is. They think God is you do good, you get good God. Yeah, you're not getting that because you're not doing good, Leon. You're nice. You need to be nice. You need to be nice to people. You need to be nice. You need to be a nice guy. That's what you need to be. And if you were just a nice guy, God would probably bless you with some more stuff because you're nice. We live in an age right now at the same time, man. The deception that has been over the church or people that's in the church, that stuff is going away. I mean, personally, I know that stuff is going away. And I say it because, man, I'm a believer. I love God. And I know I talk about topics sometimes when you look at these people out here that are so Christian. They like, oh no, these are the things of man. And this is the thing of God. And I'm like, damn. I'm a man. I'm a spirit with a soul living in this body, which is a man's body, which this is just a man's skin, which is in this country that is currently being run by a man and run by men. So you mean to tell me God doesn't care? Oh no, but it's not of the highest level of caliber. I think he has a wild and interesting emotion. Like, what is the emotion? Not emotion. personality and character. I think he's very interesting, probably more interesting than anybody you could put on a Time magazine. This is just for you to understand. Yeah, I think it's like that. And we're in this season right now where everything is unsettled. Like nothing is normal right about now. Nothing is normal, and I don't think anything is ever going to go back to that normal state. I think we're going to forever be in that place where Donald Trump, he upset and flipped over how everything was done. And I think a lot of these con artists, politicians are they're going to take his example and just duplicate it. And I saw it already with Gavin Newsom and his silly ass looking self. I'm going to try not to cuss. I'm not going to try to cuss. I'm going to be real nice and contained with my voice. Real nice and contained. Because this is Real Estate Lunchbox and I don't want to be known for cussing. I really want to be known for fussing. No. I'm just joking. I don't want to be known for cussing. Okay? Even though I'll cuss. Man, growing up in Philly, you got to realize cussing was a championship game. And we cussed to see how we can break your emotions and your feelings and make you cry. And I think a lot of people right now forget that you're in a mental game. Everybody wants people to be nice to them, you know? Everything's about being, politically correct. And we got this guy that's upsetting everybody's political correctness. He's really saying some shit a lot of time. Oh, there I go again. He's really saying some stuff that, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't say all of that. But there's a lot of things I would say that he said, that he's saying. Because I think it's crazy when Rome starts to be deceived and they feel like the walls outside of Rome are the best place to be. It's weird. It's weird. Imagine a Roman saying, hey, I'd rather be out there with the barbarians. The barbarians doing a lot of barbarian shit. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'd rather be out there with the barbarians. Okay. We got to do stuff for these barbarians. These barbarians, they're nice people. They just needed a chance to work somewhere. Now you said, are you calling people barbarians? No, I'm not, but I am in a way, because there's levels to this thing, and we don't realize that we create superpowers in America. We're just not a superpower. We're a superpower creator, which means more responsibility, to whom much is giving, much is required in some ways, right? I mean, like you're required to be, I think you're kind of required to be the shepherd of the world. You may not get in their business, but you definitely have to hold a certain standard. Trump is like, we got to focus on ourselves right now, but if you're messing with what's going on with us, then we're going to come and mess with you. And I can see that, and I respect that too. I think that's right. Because if you don't take the time to put the gas mask on yourself, how can you turn around and put the gas mask on anyone else? How can you actually do it? How? I mean, how can you turn around and save anyone in this world if you can't balance your budget, if you can't take care of your income, if you can't control who comes through your gates, if you can't be an innovator, if you can't build, if you can't power yourself? If you can't do those things, then what are you? What truly are you if you can't do those things? And he's not wrong for that. And I don't know when I say Black America, some white boys out there, mostly you white liberals, you guys out there, there's got to be a point where you come to realizing that you got to put the gas mask on yourself. And you got to stop people from fucking with the line when you put it on. I'm sorry. I'm back on it again. But that's true. That's true. We're not supposed to be the saviors of the world. We're not really supposed to take everybody in from around the world. We can help the world by doing other shit, doing other things. Actually, we help the world by being the most productive, innovative, capitalized, forward-thinking country. It puts everybody else in a position to say that we got to catch up to America and what America is doing. We don't help the world by turning around and giving the world every last bit of income that comes in from our citizens. Meaning, if we raise taxes, if we had a surplus, which we aren't, we're in a deficit, of course. But if we have extra that comes in that can actually pay against that deficit, it is not our responsibility to turn around and to give that money out to the world, to fuel the world. And I've heard people say, Leon, you got to realize we're in a place too where we have to give money out to the world because we got to control those different things that are taking place out in this country and that country. And we got to do that. I'm of the mindset, cool, go do it. There's nothing wrong with going to do it. Nothing wrong with it. But keep in mind that if we're doing it for our direction, for our control, for our positioning in the world as a superpower. If it's for that, I get it. Giving them LGBTQ training that we fully funded, almost like we're the HR department for the world, and teaching them how to run LGBTQ interviews and how to correctly speak to them. And if anyone on your team is LGBTQ, they need to go ahead and yeah. That's BS. It is so BS. And that's exactly what it is trying to teach the world to be as liberal and as free as we are, knowing damn well they have a different foundation and a different root than America has. Completely different. America wasn't developed and raised like a lot of these countries. A lot of these countries, let me change it. A lot of these countries wasn't put together and developed and raised like America. Wasn't. Your foundation counts for something. So you can't expect people who don't have a foundation in the things that are necessary, that if they don't have a foundation like we have a foundation, and our foundation is our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our Constitution that allows us the freedom of speech, bearing arms, worship, assembly. You take those crazy ass motherfuckers from those places and you bring them and you put them right over here who don't know that. They don't understand half of the things in the West that we understand. They have to come here, live here for a period of time to understand. Do you know they learn through American TV? Because we put that thing out there, and now since there's social media, there's YouTube, there's all these things where people can jump on, they can sit back and literally watch us on our live streams, our reaction videos. I've seen people in other countries do reaction videos on YouTube, and this shit is funny. They do reaction videos on YouTube. And I'm like, damn. They react. I saw one reaction. She reacting to what's taking place in the riots of LA and Mexico. Wow. And you can tell it's a UK background. No, listen, nothing up to my people in the UK, especially our black people in the UK. I love your accents. I love it. When I see a person for the UK with a UK that's black and they have a English accent, I'm like, damn, that motherfucker cool as shit. I just be like, yo, he cool. That boy, man, that boy cool like a mother. Damn, he cool like a mother. That's it. And they could be the lamest. They probably the lamest people in real life. Who knows? Or just not even, ain't nothing wrong with being lame. Shoot, by all counts, I'm a lame. By all counts, I am probably the lamest of lames. Coolest is cool, but lame is the lame. And you know, the lame that like, yo, you can call me lame. True. I know what the hell I am, and that's all that fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? It's never what people think about you, is what you think about yourself. That's my other little rant having to do with black Americans and this whole jump on the liberal bus, and why y'all won't get off of this shit right now and play the game. I don't get it. Because at the end of the day, you're more concerned with what white people think about you, and you're less concerned with what you think about yourself. And that is so wild to me. It is so wild to me. And I'm being so real authentic. I'm trying to hold back, but then not to hold back. Because of some stuff I can say that people really ain't ready to hear what I got to say on some stuff. Y'all really ain't ready to hear. You really ain't. It will blow your mind if I started talking about some of the things that because I don't think people are truly authentic in a lot of ways. I think a lot of the people we deal with are con artists, and they are hiding from the truth of who they are, or they're trying to deceive you to make you think that they're someone else because they just are just shitbag people, or they're so insecure or inferior, about themselves, about their lives, about a lot of stuff. When people say things, it's more about what do you think about yourself than what they think about you. I think a lot of problems, even in corporate America, would be defeated and brought to its knees if mofos would stop being concerned with what people think about themselves. Oh, I'm a black. Yeah, you know how they treat us black guys. You know how they treat us black people. We're black. And more concerned about what you think about yourself. I don't get it. There's less of a concern about what you see and how you perceive yourself, what you think yourself to be, or what you know yourself to be, than what people. You're more concerned with what they think about you. That is a very wild place to be at. That's the place where you constantly chase the boogeyman of racism and yeah, there's racist motherfuckers out here. Yes, there's skinheads and Aryan people out here. And they're as niggerish as niggas that are niggas. Oh shit. I can't say that. Okay. They're as bad as the other ones that are like that. They're as that bad, as they can be the same N-word as the same N-words can be too. We all can exist and be the same. Because it's not limited. The word isn't just limited to a color. Even though they may say it's originated with the color. No, it's not even. No, it's not even. It's not originated with a color or anything. Like it's not limited to a color. It's limited to a characteristic. Limited to a characteristic. And people may want to put it as being a color, but it's not. It's a characteristic. Iggerish. It's a characteristic. It's a characteristic. It's a characteristic that I think a lot of people flow in and out of it, regardless of what color they are. They just don't recognize it. They don't want to believe it is. Why? Because they learned traits from their other cultures, the same cultures next to them that they may dislike or they may hate. And that's the thing about being impressed upon. When you're in a close proximity with other people that don't look like you still end up affecting them in some way, shape, or form. Like they are still impressed by you. And don't be a person that's confident in who you are. Oh, damn. Your confidence is going to radiate and it's just going to jump on them. And they're just going to hate you and love you at the same doggone time. Woo!
Congratulations. Well done.
Wow. I love this country, man. I love this country. As crazy as this country can be or even get, as chaotic as the news media can drive people to believe, you can still turn around and take a walk in a field where it's fall and leaves are falling, and you can breathe in the air and realize you can be that same air won't be the same if you lived halfway across the world in a place where communism was still like you would feel the air, but it would still feel different. You can't create that. Well, you can, but not of your own strength. Whether you view the Constitution as being something by man or you say, hey, this Constitution is something. It is not by accident that these men wrote this Constitution out. You got to realize there's no accident. Even the challenges that affect us in our everyday lives are still challenges that make us and create us into the species that we accept that we are in life. And I'm very particular with this wording. The species that we accept that we are in life. Because some people accept that they're losers, that it never works out for them, that the challenges that come to them are challenges that are going to, why I have this challenge and nobody else has this, or he's got the better wife and I can't seem to get a better wife. They went to school. That's the reason why they're better than me. And then you find out that everything in this life starts from the inside out. If you believe that you are, then you can be. If you believe that it is and that you are, it will be. And I'm changing that some because I couldn't even begin to even say the things that I know that will break like this whole religious spell of a lot of Christians out here too. Same Christians that are out here you see in the Oval Office and they're giving their mindset and their perspective to Donald Trump on what a holy nation is. That's true. And there are truths to that. I'll never kick them in and say that is not true. But realizing that you can't legislate it away, where you can't control things through the next law that you create. You can't control the inner things of a person. You got to realize that there is something much greater going on and that the God who made us all, you can legislate all these little things that that you say is a part of him into being. You try to make people, not have abortions like they used to have non-fornication runs where I think what was the Puritans, they used to do that, or they used to burn the riches at a stake. You could do all of that. But guess what? It doesn't change the heart of people. If anything, it makes people more mean and contrite, and it builds up more of a rebellion against you. I think the message is wrong. We spend more time trying to change and regulate people and make them into this image and, oh, we have to follow Jesus. Y'all got to follow Jesus. He's the way, truth, and the light. And we spend less time telling them how much they're loved, who they are, and the power to dominate that is inside of them, given to them by God, because it's already done and completed. I looked at that. I read the Bible, and I've always looked at the Bible as a self-help book. And it's not a self-help book. It's actually a mirror which shows you who you are. Bro, what inspired that tangent? I have no idea. Maybe it's God, maybe it's the Holy Spirit. Because in this real estate lunchbox, when I do this program, it's more than just buying the next real estate deal. It's more than me just talking to you about real estate. Anybody can talk about real estate. Large part, I tell you, real estate is a boring ass shit. I think a lot of people get involved in real estate and they don't realize how boring it is. It's the same boring level as they can do all these sexy shows about the houses. Real estate in itself, the physical thing, is gorgeous. The actual business portion can be boring as shit. And then the interesting part is you meet the most interesting, weird, different type of people. And you get a chance to do business with them. And then you see what people call business as being. Oh my gosh. And then you realize that you're in a space, and we're all in these spaces where the things we need to learn to be better, the things we need to be better, we have to learn them. They need to be learned. They have to be trained. You, uh, I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, man. So you get boring people doing boring programs. And I can dazzle you with the numbers that are out now from last month and tell you that the market is going to SHIT for sellers. And I can even try to convince you right now, if you're a seller, you need to be doing this. And if you're a buyer, you need to be doing this. If you're an investor, you need to be doing this. I think part of it is not, you can be looking at numbers and all of these things and not realize that your opportunity is actually in all of this chaos that goes on. It's never in the numbers. The numbers are late, honestly. The numbers they don't predict, they only tell where you came from. They can't really truly, they can partially predict what's happening, but you still have to see signs that take place in the culture and politics to actually read some of the, and business to read some of the writing on the wall, like every immigrant right now, now I'm saying every immigrant, people that are the illegal immigrants who had the ability to be able to buy houses and investment properties, and they may be here on one of those visas, or they may have overstayed their visa, or they have to renew it, but because of the loopholes in our country, they were able to buy property and buy real estate. Those are probably the most vulnerable set of people right now in the real estate market, because any one of them can be snatched up by ICE, especially if the law reads that the property that they have, that not the property they have, the how they're in the country, they're in here illegally. Do you know how many people actually have houses like that in all these major metropolitans in the country? And then let's go even deeper. Do you realize how many of them were able to buy those properties without, like, they had special access to certain loans and grants that white boys didn't have access to, and a lot of black people didn't have access to too. Yeah, in some cases on Native American type of grants and stuff like that. And I'm not speculating. I'm damn well telling you some shit. Whoa. I mean, they can get certain loans. They can get loans done as resident aliens. They can get loans. I mean, even the company I work with, loans. They can get loans from them. You get loans to buy houses. Now you get the Trump administration coming in and kicking shit over. Like, legit keep kicking it over. Like, legit, like, whatever y'all doing, everything y'all doing, y'all need to get out. Yo, I legit gotta go use the bathroom right now. I know, and I'm pissed before I even got started. Hold on one second. Let me turn. I'm gonna be back. Hold on. You know what I'm playing before I leave? You know what I'm playing? You know what I'm gonna play? Nah. I ain't gonna do this because I want to see that joint myself. Yo, let's do this clip, because some of these clips I haven't watched myself by myself. So shoot, I'll play. Yo, this is TikTok. This when I started watching it, but I didn't finish. It's bananas. Hold on. I'm gonna try to make this quick as heck, y'all.
Big homie explains why ICE is pushing up on the land, these terror cell organizations.
Administration, 40,000 ISIS and Al Qaeda workers and soldiers infiltrated the border. We just seen Afghani shoot National Guard. In Chicago, they found an apartment filled with C4 explosives, fire department uniforms, and police officer uniforms. This ain't about the guys hanging outside the Home Depot and the 7-Eleven. Our sovereignty is under attack because the Islamic State has been named as a terror organization. That's going to trigger attacks. In the Quran, it says, kill the non-believers. We have 40,000 Somalis who was using the unemployment system to send money back to Al-Shabaab, the same group. I'm just out there negotiating the freedom of children. That's what's going on in our country. So people talking about defund the police And they talk about, oh, ICE is all this. Man, bro, in our communities, you have terror cells operating. Point blank, period. 40,000 Chinese nationals crossed the border. Then what do they find? They find a sim farm in New York.
Hold on. Let's go back. I gotta watch this one. Honestly, I didn't even watch this shit. I ain't even watch this. Hold on a second. Let's take this jump from the top. Let's go. Boom.
Big homie explains why ICE is pushing up on the land, these terror cell organizations.
Administration, 40,000 ISIS and Al Qaeda workers and soldiers infiltrated the border. We just seen Afghani shoot National Guard. In Chicago, they found an apartment filled with C4 explosives, fire department uniforms, and police officer uniforms. This ain't.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that. I gotta look that up. Go ahead.
About the guys hanging outside the Home Depot and the 7-Eleven. Our sovereignty is under attack because the Islamic State has been named as a terror organization. That's going to trigger attacks. In the Quran, it says, kill the non-believers. We have 40,000 Somalis who was using the unemployment system to send money back to Al-Shabaab, the same group. I'm just out there negotiating the freedom of children. That's what's going on in our country. So people talking about defund the police, and they talking about, oh, ICE is all this. Man, bro, in our communities, you have terror cells operating. Point blank, period. 40,000 Chinese nationals crossed the border. Then what do they find? They find a sim farm in New York where they had the infrastructure to take out 200 million phone lines. That's what's going on. Our national security has been...
Yo, we need to have more conversations. Like, this is really sound, man. Like, that's real conversation. Because you gotta realize, man, the hood don't really know. How many black people I know, man, that I talk to, they're so miseducated. And I feel like even now, young people, and I'm 47, shoot. I feel like even now, young cats that I meet that's 25, 30, like in that age, they're probably a lot more educated than some of the people my age. Some of them are a lot more educated. Like when I say educated, meaning they're aware of what's taking place around them. I think in the streets, don't let them be from the streets, a lot more aware of what's taking place around them when it comes to like whoever's down, apartments down, house down, the street, these Afghanis, these Chinese cats, like they're a lot more aware for whatever reason. People in my age group, like they stupid. I think they may have just given up on life so much that they stick their head in the sand and then just go away. Like they kind of just feel they just gave up on life. I don't know why. I don't understand. Probably has been being defeated, being denied, being rejected, or not getting the husband that they want, not getting the girl that they want, dealing with weight problems, stress, money, all that shit. They try to throw that shit at you. I'm telling you, that's the whole. I remember one time I was messing with this. I had a business partner, and I called myself trying to pledge his frat that he was in. He was a fraternity. I called myself, and I got through the first part of it. And I didn't know it was all these different parts to it. I said, oh, this is bullshit. I had to really go and reject it, repent, and walk away. I said, Lord, I denounce this Kappa Alpha Psi thing right now. I mean, I had to. But dude, dealing with him was so stressful. It's so he was just so stressful. Just an energy drainer. And we had that like in our like people that are our age that are just energy drainers. They're just stressful. And when you try to go through life and then you find out that all of that stuff is draining your stress and making you stressful. And I see them because I be at the gym. I be sleeping good at night. I be eating good. My wife, she cook good. She got me right. She know how to cook. I don't got to go to the store and get all these cheap foods and all this other processed stuff. I got a garden and I grow my stuff. But you sit back and I look at other guys my age, a lot of those other people, like they're conning women into believing that they're more than what they are, or they're dealing with so much stress and pressure because they don't know how to actually let it go, like how to let God be the Lord of your life, really. And it's not about being the best performing type of person and being the best person. And this is the deception, I think, that damages our core as a family, whether you black, whether you white, but you say you Christian. And you go into church and you love Jesus. I love your Jesus. And you lift your hands of praise and worship. And then you get back home and you still stressed. Never changing. Because it's a fairy tale, bro. They teaching you fairy tales. They're not teaching you the truth. They're not teaching you the truth. Yo, this is a great segment right here. Let me talk about that. Because I wasn't even planning on starting with this joint right here. I was actually going to start with this right here. Because, look, this is about 36 minutes into this joint. Yo, your boy put through on a jacket this time for this show. I said, let me stream this and put my jacket on, put on my A hat so you know I'm from the A. You'll be looking at this and replay, be like, where is he from? I'm not from the A, but I'm from the A. Yeah, facts. Philly. But man, I tell you, Atlanta's more home to me than Philadelphia ever was. Philadelphia, I liken that thing to be like, it was almost like going into a Rocky movie and you do like years there. You can choose to be Apollo Creed or you can choose to be Rocky. It doesn't matter. It's freaking fight town. Fight, fight, fight. It gets your senses sharp for life. That's why I laugh at people when they say, yeah, I'm moving to Philly. I'm like, yeah, you ain't got sharp senses. But where you stay? I'm going to be staying downtown off of Broad Street. And it's beautiful now. Don't get it twisted. When I was growing up, that thing was a piece of, oof, dangerous. Whoa. I was around in Philly when Move, the Move organization, when they were doing their thing. Move. It was like a bunch of dreads. They had a back to the African Bombada type of thing. And they shut down a whole city block. And I remember the mayor got so mad, or they were trying to get in there. They couldn't get them out. They blew up the block. I said, this is some real shit, right? They turn around, blow up the block. The government, Philadelphia PD comes and blows up the damn block. Ugh. Good God, have mercy on my soul. Yeah. That's Philly for you, man. That's Philly, bro. That's Philly. You got a love-hate with it. But Atlanta, I have a love-hate with it, but it's a different type of love-hate. Atlanta got a bag. I don't care what nobody tells you, Atlanta still has a bag. You can still get a good bag in Atlanta. You just have to know where to look. And honestly, you got to keep people out of your shit. You really got to keep people out of your stuff. They're going to come at you. You going to have the ones out here that look like they doing it. But real talk, man, it can be done down here. And you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be even a popular real estate agent. You just got to mind your damn business. That's it. And just not give a F what anybody else is doing. Because most of the time they trying to figure this shit out too, and they don't even know that. They don't even know. You think that the people around you have some epiphany of what they doing. They waking up in the same morning just like you scratching it. What the hell do I do today? Mother. They don't know, bro. They don't know. And it's worse when they don't know and don't know God. They tripping over everything, including you.
Congratulations. Well done.
Man. Tripping over everything, including you. Hell. Stealing your shit. They even steal their own shit. Oh, I didn't know I owned this. Yo. Whew. Man, okay, I got to talk about this thing with Trump. Maybe it's not a day for Trump talk. I don't know. Who knows? But let's talk about this, man. Because I'm inspired by Trump. People don't like me to hear saying that. And I'm sorry y'all don't like to say that, hear me say that, but I'm inspired by it. This guy is the marketer's marketer market. Do you understand what it takes to actually have the skill set to be able to move in a business space, entertainment space, political space? The Joker is a freaking triple threat. Regardless of whatever you think about him, you can say what you want. Because I truly believe to be a politician there's a gift to be a politician. You have to have a certain gifting, an ability to communicate with people where they hear you and they say, damn, I believe him. You got to be able to brainwash them from the podium, reading the speech, or sitting down there with Walter Cronkite or one of those. He's dead, isn't he? One of those guys. And you got to be able to tell them what they want. And people got to look at you like Mandani. Mandani walks in the room, smiles. People look, he's smiling. I'm smiling too. I mean, you got to be able to project that to people, right? You got to. Man, I didn't bring my chapstick in this. I'll bring my chapstick next time. You got to be able to do that, right? You got to be able to project that to people. You ever seen Mandani? I heard another podcaster say he's phony. I was listening to Anton Daniel. He was like, yeah, look at his smile, man. His smile is phony. And I had to look at him closer and said, yeah, you got a phony smile, you know? And I looked at him clearly. Then I had to sit back and I had to stare at him. That joke. Yeah, he phony. He's like, who the hell walks around like that? If you follow me, I'll be looking at old ladies like, they gotta be like, yo, I'm like, yes, ma'am, let me get that door for you. But real talk. Oh, anyway, y'all too much. Y'all too serious. Have y'all be too serious about yourself? Most people take themselves too damn serious. I realize that. Most of them. Trump don't take himself that serious, but then he take himself that serious. But when he out not taking himself that serious, then you end up like taking him serious or saying some stuff. He has a real interesting personality, dude. He is a very interesting personality guy. Like, very few people have a level of I mean, he can make you buy in. You buy in. I don't know. And I don't think that he's a bad person. A lot of people say, oh, Orange Man, he's evil. No, I don't think he is. I think if anything, he could be an elitist sometimes. And that's not a negative thing. Because, damn, if you're a billionaire and you done freaking turned around and built whatever you built, and it takes a lot of freaking energy, time, commitment, doggone, you lose, you build, you lose, you build, you lose, you build, to be an entrepreneur, to be a builder, to be a freaking business rock star. And people can say what they want to and about billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs. Yeah, they're greedy. Yeah, I done had some Jewish guys that I did business with. Hey, y'all know y'all name. They greedy. They freaking like, but I learned something by watching them. I really learned something by watching them, yo. Like, legit. I was like, damn, I should have did that. It's so much you can learn from watching people that don't look like you. It's so much you can get from them because they came up with different backgrounds than you do. You know, like the black family background and you got the white family background, and y'all got just different backgrounds. White families were just raised different than black families. That's it. And that's the reality. Why do we even try to make it feel different or seem different? But that's it. But damn. Oh. They learn some things, a resilience. Some of them do. Some just blow their heads off. That's true. But for a large part, if their family gave them some good foundational teaching, like his kids, I mean, there's a certain level of like, okay, can you actually be real and still have a level of class about yourself? I mean, You can be real and not be hood, because expression in hood doesn't make you real. It's actually the words that you say that make you real. That's really it. Like the words and then the things you do. Like how true are you? When you say that truth and it's the truth and nobody can deny it, does it echo for you as well as the people that you deliver that to? Meaning, I had one guy, I had a business partner loved telling me truth and yeah. But nothing in his life duplicated or showed it. I think he had some revelational points. Yeah, I would say. He just, I don't know. I'm going to see him in heaven. Put it like that. He'll be in heaven. And I believe that he'll be in heaven. Yeah. Okay, let's get into Trump thing. Let's get into the thing with Trump. Donald Trump smacks at the Somalians. Let's go.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also
I
saying.
wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look.
Not even nations, just people just walking around just doing like just. Oh my God. I know y'all gotta watch this in replay. You can't tell me that's not hilarious, yo. And then y'all like, Leon, that's mean. Is he wrong? Is he wrong? Y'all just saw Black Hawk Down, but is he wrong? Is he wrong? Is he wrong about what Somalia is? Because if he was wrong, then everybody who came here from Somalia would be trying to get back to Somalia. But they're not. They're trying to stay in the United States.
These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar.
Okay, so y'all like, oh, he's exaggerating the numbers. Okay. Let's not just talk about the billion that they took and sent over to Somalia for their, what was it, some terrorist group, right? Let's talk about the money and resources by the federal government for Mogadishu, for the altercations we've been involved in over in Somalia. Billions and billions and billions. Okay. You say, Leon, that's still not bills. Let's talk about the cost of bringing the people over here. Let's talk about that. Hey. La, 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 la.
Who they say married her brother. That's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, you know, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to.
When you're dealing with an Eastern country, an Eastern philosophy, Eastern way of thinking, they don't think about that as incest. They don't see that as incest. You got to realize, yeah, you may have some that have Western perspective on it. Very few countries there do. But they don't see that as being incest. Don't take a Western philosophy of incest and take it over and say, oh, that's a lie, what he's saying. You're talking about people that believe you can have multiple wives at one time. And it's okay to marry them and to marry them when they hit their teens. Like, it's okay. I keep saying, you keep having a Western mind, and then you want to talk about Eastern things. I love liberals, man. I tell you.
A congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that, and she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people,
I even love some of y'all conservatives, too, who don't know any better.
they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, It's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
So, I hear it already. Leon, that's a general statement. How does he talk about Somalians like that? Not all Somalians are bad. It's only those 5 guys they arrested. Hold on, let me correct you. Let me correct you, Bo. Bro, let me correct you, sis. We're actually close to about 100 people right now. That's in that whole Somalian billion-dollar steal from the U.S. death trap that y'all set up for yourselves, because they gonna definitely take y'all down. But yeah, we like, I don't agree with him saying that Somalians in general should be pushed out. I don't. But unfortunately, we don't sit back and have the casual nature of this telling people that, hey, I'm a U.S. born, my parents are Somalian, but I was raised here. Okay. That's a fact. But you're still in a culture, still in a group that has a large for a large portion of that, if we look at the numbers right now, we're supporting that same group through Medicare, Obamacare, Abomination Care. I thought about that last night. I said, man, I got to use that Abomination Care, through SNAP, through WIC, through all these other funded subsidies. All of this. So it's not just when you say 85% of Somalians that came here or on SNAP or government assistance. Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. You got to admit that's a lot. I need somebody to name for me one Somalian that has contributed to the United States, advancing in technology, advancing in business, or advancing in sciences, technology. We know y'all going to say Omar because of politics. I got you. Feel free to comment below and leave that information. I'm good. I can be wrong. I don't know everything. I'm never going to profess to. But damn.
Congratulations. Well done.
You got the dog on your back. I don't know. I just, when you just bring a philosophy that is non-American ideology and a dependence on a system that you haven't really paid into, yeah, that's why you say, oh, it's these white people. Yeah, okay, it's the white people. You could say it could be the white people up there in Washington. If that makes you feel better, yeah, it's the white people in Washington. Yeah. That motherfuckers are telling you that you need to contribute to the pot. That's what they saying. Contribute to the pot. That's it. Contribute to the pot. Throw a little something in there. Throw some money in there. Not because you worked and they automatically take the taxes out, and not because you filed the taxes. But damn, like, don't take the money and send it over to places that knowingly want to destroy us. So it does make the whole culture look bad. It does. It does. We can't sit back and say, oh, this is a general state. This is a hard thing to stomach if you're in college. And I saw some reaction videos of some college students talking. We don't know why. Y'all sound like some volley white girls right there. They don't know why Trump said the way he said to us. I love y'all TikToks. I'm going to run some of those. We're going to do an all Somali TikTok trend. That's what we're going to do. Reaction trend where I just reacting to all Somali videos about Trump. I just need to see that. That's a good idea. Don't steal it. All right. Let's go. Let's finish this.
And all they do is complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with... go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You guys they're using your liberties against you. They're using the same liberties that we hold true in the Constitution against us. It's like somebody using the scripture in church against you. And you're like, hold on. That scripture's not even meant to be used like that. Hold it. It can be used like that, but your motives behind it are wrong. It's an alternative. You're using the same scripture against you. That's the same thing you're doing. The Constitution says, and nobody wants to talk about the ill intent behind it. Nobody wants, what y'all want to ignore completely is the ill intent, the motive of the heart behind it. That's it. It's not that what he's saying is right or even wrong. It's not that. His motive behind it is, I love America and you guys are stealing shit from me. You're twisting our words. You're twisting our Constitution. You're manipulating our habeas corpus. Anyway, we're not. Anyway, let's go.
All she does is complain about this country. Without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth.
Some of y'all say we can't be critical about the United States. We can be critical, but there's a heart there's a heart behind that. There's a heart. You can't be critical about the U.S. and know that people in your district are doing foul stuff and you don't even come in to stop them. I'm sorry, I thought you were a powerful congresswoman. I thought they elected you. If they are shutting you up with money, then we need to know, okay? And he's about to find out. But at the end of the day, you can't do that. How? You can't have a heart that is against the country and then use the Constitution of the country, which is the written document, against the people in the country in order to overthrow or to have some type of thing. And then you say we're doing this because America should be for immigrants and my immigrants. I'm going to tell you one thing. I want the freaking Western culture to stay, okay? I enjoy my bag. I enjoy capitalism. It can be sucky sometimes, but I enjoy getting a bag. I enjoy it.
Congratulations. Well done.
I don't want your socialist communist ideas of what I'm entitled to give to y'all or do that. And listen, you see those uniforms in the back? I wore those because I believe that we just need to keep it just going. Just keep it rocking. When God says it's time to stop and it's time for the U.S., then we'll know. And I believe the God who made heaven and earth, who knows that his children live in this country, will take care of us. I believe that. When and if in America ceases to be what it is, God forbid, I believe he will take care of his children. Until then, I'm going to contribute to helping the machine go for it. Y'all, you're going to power up billionaires. Negro, if you don't have a dream and not the one Martin Luther King gave you, not the dream Martin Luther Socialist King gave you, okay? Have a dream. Yeah, that's socialist Christianity, I'm telling you. We'll talk about that one day. Oh my God, I probably should have kept this for the other channel, but hey, let's go. It's Real Estate Lunchbox.
I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon, I hope. But what Somalia, what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And a lot of it starts with the governor. A lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama, because that's when people started coming in. And you have to have people come in that are going to love our country, cherish our country. They want to kiss our country goodnight. They talk about our country. We want them to pray for our country. And this is not the people living in Minnesota. And
I know none of them have those red, white, and blue swim shorts that you can get from Walmart or even that you pick up from Abercrombie. None of them have those red, white, and blue shorts. And I know that. I know that. None of y'all in Minnesota got those red, white, and blue shorts. None of y'all. None. Say none. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Nobody bleeding blue over there. Nobody bleeding red, white, and blue. If war happened right now and they needed to pull people from out of Minnesota, we had to actually say, hey, we got to send people over to war and do a draft, them jokers will be running over to Canada, they would have escaped over the river. They would have ran over there, and then Canada would have became their home, or they probably would have conspired with whoever we're fighting to actually seditiously take us down from inside. And y'all think I'm tripping? I don't care. I really don't, because you don't know the depth and the darkness in people's in their hearts. You don't know that. And if you can continue pulling money out, and it's like 100, the only way you keep stuff like that secret is only one person needs to know about it. You ever heard that? I was watching Michael Frangise's channel, that mob boss, and I was listening to some of those mob flips. And if you want to do a crime, the best way to keep a secret is nobody knows about it, and you go by yourself. You got 100 people on deck right now, getting brought down in that bribe joint, in the fraud. 100 people on deck. Do you not think that somebody is sitting back and they are squealing? Like somebody snitching, somebody a rat. Because how do you go from being, I think when I saw it was 30, 40, and then now they had 100? Keep ratting. Keep ratting.
She's a disaster. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople, okay? They shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople because they don't represent the interests of our country. Anybody else?
Mr. President, you honestly all the immigrants.
The automakers
Anybody else?
spent billions on meeting the Biden EV rules. Should they be able to recoup that somehow, given the change? And there's a question about the violation.
No. I'm not letting them recoup. They're going to do just fine. You know how they recoup? From this point forward, they'll do very well.
Can you also talk about the USMCA and what you're thinking about renegotiating that with the automakers?
Well, we're that's just an ongoing thing. It expires in about a year, and we'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada. But look, Mexico and Canada have taken advantage of the United States, like just about every other country, in all fairness. If it's not them, I'm not blaming them. But every country, because we had stupid people running our country. We had a lot of stupid people running.
Now, some of y'all gonna hate that, but dude, come on. You got to realize if you are smart, you're not going to be a politician. You're not going to go into government service. You're not. Don't let nobody tell you that. You're not. You're not going to go into government service. You may have a talent for it, and then you are intelligent, and you have some of them that are there, but you just got a talent for it, and if you were smart enough, you'll find a way to get it and then to get out. You're not. They don't. What was I think it was the thing about, there's like the A students, B students, and C students. You got to realize most of the people that's in government are A students. You have to be able to follow rules, follow directions, and not really break the box. You can't really be a rebellious person when you work. It's just almost like corporate America. You can't really be a rebellious person working in a government. Very much like corporate America. It's almost like being in the military. During the time of military, we had our low-key secret rebellions, but it wasn't like, we wasn't going to stand up and be like, F the general, all this other stuff. Bro, nobody likes article. No, we're good. We're good. We don't want to be caught out. But you got to be that type of person that has that box and you stay in that box. You got to. The people who are like bold, the ones who are like entrepreneurs, they build businesses like the Trump. That's why I said it's a triple threat. And y'all still don't get the triple threat on this guy. You still don't get the triple threat. To be a business person, entrepreneur, you have to have a certain maverick, renegade, I don't play within the boxes, I don't like those confines type of deal. I'm going to do it different, and I'm do it a different way. And you go against it. What is that? Red Ocean, right? Blue Ocean. Was it Blue Ocean, Red Ocean? I didn't even finish that book. It just got a little bit, all right, cool. Because it's like talking about something that's normal, that people just, like real mavericks just go against the grain. This guy did it against the grain. Now, then you got to turn around. You got to scale back. Even in marketing, you got to still be able to bust out, see the grain, see the line, and still color outside the lines when necessary. But then you go into politics, and this guy, We see it already, political correctness. Where do we get the term political correctness from? Politics. Political correctness. So politicians are in essence making the culture look like them. Think about it. Political correctness, the way you carry yourself, what you say to people, what you don't say about people, how you say it. Oh, that's not politically correct. There's some real shithole countries. Oh, don't you call it a shithole country. That's not a nice thing to say. It's not politically correct. Those people that live there, it's people, they live here because they know it's shithole over there. You know, that they know. They see the shit in a hole. All right? Shithole. Not me. Don't. That's shithole. Not him. You know, it's now. But at the end of the day, that's it. That's the only thing. Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. You gotta stop this. When you project, when I realized that the top 10 books for nonfiction were political books, nonfiction bestsellers. The top one right now is Alex Hormozy. Great book. You got to go read it. $100 Million Models. But the top, like, dude, come on, man. Politicians writing their autobiography, selling it to you, and you're telling them, oh, you're great because you buy it up in droves, and now they own the top 10 spots for bestsellers nonfiction. Not a business person, not a scientist, not a doctor about his life, not a entrepreneur about his success. No, we're talking politics. Not the thing you go to work and earn to be able to pay your bills. Why wouldn't, and that's nonfiction, like why wouldn't something like that, a money book, which changes lives, be on the top? But Robert Kiyosaki was there one time for a while, but that's a long time ago, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Why not? Because when politicians are in that place, you're just really buying their book because you want to be made in their image. So part of their image is being politically correct, okay? All right, so you know, and stop, you know, yeah.
That's why we have $38 trillion in debt. But the beautiful thing about the tariffs is we'll start paying off that debt. The money coming in, they're finding money in our country now that they never knew existed. The other day, $30 billion. Where did it come from? I said, why don't you check the tariff shelf? They said, sir, that tariff hasn't started yet. It doesn't start till January. I said, no, it started 2 months ago. They called back, sir, you're right, it was from tariffs. No, we have a whole different country. I hope the Supreme Court, I pray that the Supreme Court understands the importance of the sensible, really, I mean, this would be country threatening if something happened with regard to that. You know, the people that brought...
Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. But he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. We cannot continue to subsidize these other countries. Like, we can't. We're empowering and we created China, bro. Like, we created China. Like, China would not be what it is right now if Reagan and Bush, and if they all didn't get in line and say, I think it started even with Carter. We got to make a country. Like, we got to raise up the world out of poverty. You raise up the world out of poverty by empowering them, not by subsidizing them, not by giving them subsidies to help them go and then letting their people come over here and tear up your fucking house. They tearing up the house. They tearing up the house. Okay? They tearing up the house, dude. The house is torn. Okay? I don't really like that one. All right. That's cool. That's even better. And then y'all complaining when they coming in and ripping up your shit. You're not, hold on, I'm sorry. We complaining. Y'all not complaining when they coming in and ripping up your shit. Y'all not complaining. Y'all have no complaints at all. Just rip my house up. Okay, clown. Let it go. All right.
The House Oversight Committee demanding Minnesota Governor Tim Walz hand over documents as we learn new details about the investigation into the $1 billion welfare fraud scandal. And new reports claiming Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has deep ties to people who personally profited from the alleged fraud. That list includes one of her former campaign officials and a co-owner of the restaurant where Omar held her 2018 congressional victory party. It is important to note the Congresswoman has not.
Omar, don't act like you don't know what's going on. Don't act like you don't know, Omar. Don't ignore it. No, Congresswoman. You don't get to know all this other stuff and not know this. You're with your people. You know your people. You're popping up at their restaurants. Don't act like you don't know, Omar. Ilhan Omar. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you ain't got some checks for that bread.
Been directly linked to the fraud herself. Joining us now is the Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, Lisa DeMuth, who joins me now. And Lisa, thank you so much for doing just that. $1 billion in taxpayer dollars essentially lit on fire. What is your reaction to this staggering fraud scandal that has rocked your state?
For the last 7 years, we have looked at fraud that has exploded under Governor Tim Walz in autism services. Feeding Our Future, the food scandal during the COVID time, is the largest COVID food scandal, taxpayer money waste in the nation. And we've been sounding the alarm over the years. We're finally getting that national attention that we need so much here in our state to have full investigations. But you're right. It's over $1 billion in taxpayer dollars that have gone out to fraud instead of going to the people that needed those services the most.
Wow. Speaker of the Minnesota House, Walz. See, what they don't understand is they committed suicide when they turned around and came at Trump. I'm telling you, it's not that you're not dealing with an average politician. You're dealing with an entrepreneur that knows how to politic or will turn around and hire the right ones for politics, has a knack for being a politician that's a non-politician. I mean, you can't duplicate and recreate what he is. You can't. They're so used to the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing or paying off the other side, so they don't even say anything about that to that side. Or everybody goes out and eats lunch with the Republicans go with the Democrats go with the Republicans, and they just talk about topics. Yeah, we're near bankruptcy in our state, but yo, you tell Boeing come over and I'll give them a deal. Bro, they snitching on you. The rats are telling that she ain't no rat. That's the good type of snitching. That's the one that'll make you governor, and you can replace that and move all that buffoonery out of there. There are some good politicians. I'm not going to say there's bad politicians. I believe, like I keep saying, it is a gift. It is a talent, and not everybody can do it, and some people can do it better than others. And then there's a machine with money that's behind that too, which makes you look like you're a superstar. Look his hands up. And grander than what you are.
Tim Walz is up for re-election. What are residents in Minnesota saying about this?
Tim Walz is up for his third election here in the state of Minnesota. People were surprised when he was reelected for a second time. But when he was on the national stage just a year ago, it really let the nation know truly who Tim Walz is. Definitely let Minnesotans know his favorability is underwater right now. It's less than 50%, and it's mostly because he has not handled fraud, and he's increased our taxes and fees and spent through a record surplus.
You say that $1 billion could just be the tip of the iceberg. That's a pretty big iceberg. What do you mean by that?
Yes, and that is what we've heard from the acting U.S. attorney in the case, specifically looking at some of these things. That was said by acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson. He said this could be just the tip of the iceberg. It could push north almost to $2 billion. Again, these are taxpayer dollars that have been stolen by fraudsters here in the state of Minnesota.
Well, in 2020, according to the New York Times, the Minnesota Department of Education actually questioned Feeding Our Future, which is one of these fraudulent organizations, about all the requests that they were making. And the organization actually threatened the state agency and said that if you don't give us what we want, we're going to sue you, accuse you of racism. And I don't think we really want that kind of negative press. And the state agency caved.
Y'all folded. You racist. You're just a racist meanie.
That's just one example of the brazen nature of all of this that took place over the course of 5 years. Why do you think this took so long to uncover?
And I want you to see, listen, that's what they're doing with Trump right now. When we turn around and say, oh, he's being mean, not all Somalians are included in there, next to that is, oh, you're a racist, and so forth. The words. Trump is the only person that can look at his heart and say he is or he isn't. Trump and God. That, at the end of the day. One thing is a fact. I will call you what I call you if you steal shit from my house.
Congratulations. Well done.
And that's what they've been doing.
I think there's been a lack of accountability at the very top of our state. You know, if threats were made such as those, you still push through, investigate the fraud, and stop the fraudulent payments that were going out. That is not what we've experienced here in the state. That is the change that we need from the very top. We're grateful that we've got federal partners that are coming in to truly investigate a number of these cases and look into the records. But accountability starts at the top. So that's with the governor and with his commissioners. That's not what we've experienced here in Minnesota.
Well, speaking of the top, of course, Governor Walz has been questioned about this now that it's been uncovered. And here he is talking about why he believes this took place in Minnesota. Watch this.
Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't.
Why does he have that weird looking face? He always be having a weird face. It's like, it's close to like that pedophile face. I'm sorry. It's like, what do you mean? Oh boy.
Get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy.
So he says that this took place in Minnesota because he's doing too good of a job. What do you think about that?
AAA bond rating is not what criminals.
Yeah. Let's move to something different. One thing I know is if I was a white guy and I sat back and I saw some black kids breaking into a car, and it seems like every time I went down this block in this area, these black children were doing this heinous shit right here. Like I don't. Now let me tell you this. This is the caveat to this. That's what it used to be back in the 90s, 70s, like probably like 80s. Some white boys out here doing more crimes, bro. You just ain't seen them yet, bro. They doing the same breaking and entering. The YN nature just rolled onto them. Trust me, they there. But I would also feel, I wouldn't look at young black guys the same way. I'd be like, yo, this like, and I get it. Is it right? You got to determine what that is for yourself. For me, I don't agree with it in its entirety. I don't think you can demonize a whole culture. But one thing is so true, is still true. Damn. Shit. I wanted to believe that statement I was about to say. You can't demonize a whole culture. But damn, I heard the IQ to be considered not even smart or competent in IQ is 70. And I think some guy said they were like 60. The average IQ in Somalia is 67. Is that wrong? I don't know. But like, damn. And then when you know that they are fleeing Somalia and they continue to flee Somalia to come here in the UK. And the Somalian people don't even want anything to do with the country. I gotta take that back, bro. Honestly, I want to be like the good Christian guy that would say you're demonizing a whole culture, and there are people that don't fit into that, because God knows their heart. I don't know their heart. I don't know. I can't say that they are all out there doing that. But damn, I can say 85% is a freaking lie. There's a whole lot of them out there. 85% that is just living on, of the population living on government assistance. Ooh, damn, that's a lot. That's a freaking lot. And the 15-20% that's not. I mean, are they running any like major banks or doing anything with AI tech or anything that really contribute? Okay, they probably are. People probably are. They probably are. I'm not going to say they not. But I damn well do believe that, damn, they need to be telling the ones that aren't to stop. The ones that are to stop. They need to be telling them to stop. I'm like, hey, bro, you shouldn't be sending money overseas to like terrorist organizations. Shit, it makes us look bad, Anyway, bro. But what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? There's a lot of other smart people out here, smarter than me, bro. A lot smart. I'm gonna chop this up. Let's slow this down. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's go over this, man. I like this one right here. This I had to pull this in, and I know we talking real estate, but bro, I had to say this because some of you guys are deceived online, and we're gonna get to the micro. Because some of you guys are deceived online. Y'all think this AI thing, when we say AI is here to stay, you think we just talking about like corporate America with workflows? You think we're just talking about Sora, OpenAI? Oh, let's use ChatGPT. I'm telling you that a lot of you gentlemen will soon be beating off, if you haven't already, to this. And this is not age appropriate for children. I'm telling you, if you will listen to me in your car, I'm letting you know I scatter sometimes, okay? Because when I saw this, I said the level of deception is deep, guys. They messing with your mind. They playing with your emotions, Smokey. They playing with your emotions, Smokey. They playing with your Smokey. Because these AI baddies are here to stay.
Guys, this has got to stop. Open Instagram. First thing I see is this. I'm like, wow, baddie. She's a baddie. And then I continue watching and I'm like, okay, let me see. This is AI. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is AI. And then I got let down a rabbit hole of Instagram accounts of women that aren't real. And the comments are full of men thirsting. We're cooked.
You are cooked.
Y'all so quick to comment, that's AI. Meanwhile, you still clocking in. Oh my God, America really brainwashed my people. I'm about to start commenting human under y'all posts like I ain't the future or something. America is cooked.
This AI, y'all. AI. You guys know it's coming for y'all.
You disappeared for 2 weeks. Now you back like nothing happened. Baby, this ain't no Netflix series. You don't get seasons. Yeah.
Oh boy.
This why I don't go out drinking with my friends, because this the shit we end up doing.
Whoop.
This why I don't go out drinking with my friends, because this the shit we end up doing.
I just had to run it back so you knew. Yeah. This AI thing is gonna mess up some of y'all women, because you got to realize that some of the guys that you're dealing with, all they want to do is just, get their rocks off. That's it, and they don't care if it's real or not. And I think over time, some of them won't care who do care. And if it becomes good enough, like if the videos like that fly, shit's cooked. But for some of you women out there who are aspiring to be so natural, realize that it is men. There are men out here, we love the natural. We love the imperfect. We don't want it to look really good. Like, we want to look good, but we don't want it to look perfect. We want the stretch marks. We want them thighs. We like them big thighs. Yeah. And we want that. That's what we want. We want the natural. We want the natural. We want the natural. AI ain't gonna steal some of us away from you. Okay? Some of us who appreciate the real, authentic woman who we gotta deal with, who we gotta be like, no, baby, you can't get that today. Sorry, no. And you be like, okay. And then you go fix a meal because you gonna turn our hearts towards you. And you're like, if I make this, I know he gonna take if I make this steak. Yo, we appreciate you. Matter of fact, hold on 1 second. We appreciate you. We believe that you are. Oh, no. We are
amazing.
Yes, you are
incredible.
Incredible.
Outstanding. Amazing.
Amazing. What? We do. So keep being what you are, who you are, and the way that you are. Don't think that these AI chicks are gonna baddies with their baddie skin and baddie looks are gonna steal the men from you. No. They may subsidize some of the activity that you may not have to do or be responsible for or film the videotape for, but they're not gonna steal them. Nope, not gonna do it. Why? Because we appreciate the real. We appreciate the real. And I truly believe, even as AI gets more and more rampant and we see more AI content, pictures, images, all this stuff, we will learn to appreciate the real baddies because you guys are
amazing. Incredible.
Yes.
Outstanding.
That's true.
Amazing.
Yes, you are. And all I can say is
congratulations, well done.
Yes. So continue. Don't believe that you need to do BBLs. Don't think that you got to do all those Brazilians. The Brazilians, they got problems enough. I was looking at a report and I noticed that they having a problem. Some of their men are becoming the women and sleeping with some of the y'all passport bros that are down there and y'all don't even know what you got. You have no idea, no clue. Not one whatsoever. But it's whatever. But there's another side to this. There is the bread chase. There's the bag. So if you're out there and you're making these channels and you got guys going ham for you and they just beating it up.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And all over just... It's funny to some people, but I know you getting the bag. I know you getting that bag. I know it. Damn, I know it. I done made some AI videos and some content. It took a while. I've probably done about 60 hours, close to 70 hours of making AI content. I'm talking about Sora 2, using everything from videos to images to get to the point of really understanding what this thing is and creating great content, creating great videos. I'm not saying that I didn't make that video. I did not make that video. That's a good idea because some of y'all need to see it, but I didn't make that one. I do it more for business, more for business. Business, boy. Business. And I'll do a faceless channel another day. But there's a bag there. There is definitely a bag. There's definitely a bag. And if you join the Patreon, you like, subscribe, please follow in the Patreon. AI is one of the money-making tools. It can be used with real estate, apart from real estate. Making images like this. I did the skills, so you don't have to do the long time skills to pay the bills, bro. You join, we're going to talk more about it. Some of the software and stuff that I use that I love using, that I enjoy doing. Okay. All right. I spent enough time on this. Let me go to the next one, bro. Let me go to the next one. Next, let's talk about rent in Atlanta. Let's talk about this because I'm going to tell you, Atlanta prices are getting ham right about now.
Well, if you rent, it may not come as a surprise. It's getting harder to get by. Metro Atlanta, not the bargain it used to be.
We're taking a look at the numbers and the possible solutions. Kevin Stewart joins us live from Douglas County with the story. Kevin?
Yeah, this shouldn't be a huge surprise to anyone, but when you actually see the numbers, I think it's fair to say it's something else.
It's moving day again for Emerald Fox. The veteran single mom and IT specialist moved from D.C. to Smyrna, then here to Douglasville. Next stop, East Point.
So East Point's going to be your best bet in renting a house.
It's still more. I mean, it's still the same.
But she says,
now, hold it. If you don't know anything about Atlanta, I'm gonna bring you up to speed real quick. Douglasville is on the west side of Atlanta. So Atlanta is a city like this. And you've got 85-75 going north-south. You got 285 that circles Atlanta. Then you got 20 that cuts through. So the city's like this. So 20, this would be, if you're looking at it, it's west to you, right? 20 west, if you're looking at this, is where Douglas is, Douglasville. So she's talking about moving from 20 West, which is Douglasville, which is outside of this perimeter. So it's not Atlanta proper. It's not even the city of Atlanta. Into the city of Atlanta, East Point, which is a little town that's in Atlanta. People keep saying East Point is separate from Atlanta. It is separate. It is its own city. But damn, you cross over the street and you're in East Point and it looks just like Atlanta. And they're probably worse when it comes to building code and home inspections for construction. Not probably, they are. Okay? I don't like buying down there. Don't buy down there. Okay, so she's moving into the city to pay less? I mean, I'm trying to figure this out, but that is legit what's happening. And I realize, you know what? I do get why. A lot of people are moving outside of 285. They want to get outside of that perimeter, outside for cheaper rent. So I guess we're seeing a shift of some people having to move back in because everybody moved out for cheaper rent and the rent isn't as cheap as they thought it would be or is more expensive. And so they got to move back to the city because the city is lowering rent because people were moving outside of the city. Welcome to Atlanta.
at least her family will have more space this time. Now, according to the Zillow Index, which tracks rent asking prices over time, watched by the Atlanta Regional Commission, Forsyth, Cherokee, and Fayette counties go for over $2,000 a month. Fulton County, the heart of the metro, the asking price sits at $1,891 a month. But here's some perspective. Clayton County's asking price is $1,708. 10 years ago, that price was only $792.
Oh. This is disturbing. When I moved to Atlanta, Clayton County was the place that you wanted cheap rent. I keep telling people, I say this is a blue collar area. When people move into, and when they're trying to move to Atlanta, they typically move into Clayton County, Riverdale. That's Riverdale, Hampton, Jonesboro, Stockbridge, largely because it's cheaper down there. Because it's just was cheaper. It's not in the city. It's outside of perimeter, and more people want to be on the west side, northwest, north. So not everybody was moving south. And I was wondering why. And over time, I figured that out. That used to be the hood, bro. But it had good people. Good people. But now, this is the thing that's going to turn Atlanta upside down. When Clayton County is as much as living in a city, where's the peace at?
Did you think moving to Atlanta, you were going to get a better bargain?
100%. They'll pay you enough to live on your own.
That part. Take a look at the ARC's data to prove it. The yellow line is rent. The green line is income. They don't match up.
That is a strain on people who are in that lower and middle income bracket.
And that's a fact. I believe that. I don't believe it matches up for the everyday Atlantan, because these corporations that come in, they bring in C-suite executives, they bring in middle management, they hire in those places, and those people are, if they're living in Atlanta, they're not complaining about this most of the time. Most of the time. They've relocated them or they hired them on. A lot of times they could be work from home hybrid. We've got a big tech build up in Atlanta also. So you got a lot of corporations here, but the people that are running them and in those buildings and living, they are not, some of them live in Atlanta, but they're not complaining about this. This affects the average person moving to Atlanta, the person who is not working at one of those positions. You may be working in a type of customer service or receptionist, or you may be even in the nursing industry, but you're not a RN nurse. You haven't built up so much time and skill under your belt to warrant a large check. This is a big deal. This is a big deal because these are the people that keep Atlanta going in some ways, you know?
That is not really being relieved by these market forces. We've also, as you mentioned, seen housing prices increase substantially historically, even though there has been a slight decrease, maybe of 1% to 5% typically, based on different counties. But the wages that people earn have not kept pace at all. They've increased around 40% over the last 10 years, whereas rents have increased between 60 and 100%.
The ARC says building more apartments, affordable apartments, and homes is one solution, at least for the rental pricing issues. It's working on that.
It's a 2-year planning process to help different communities understand what type of housing they need to build, where, and at what price point to best serve their communities.
Meantime, Fox is hoping this move, although tough, is the right move.
It's unlivable. No, nobody can do it on their own. You cannot do it on your own. You have to like shack up or something, and I'm not built like
Hold on, run this jump back again. Hold on, say that again, young lady. Say that again. Hold on.
You cannot do it on your own. You have to like shack up or something, and I'm not built like that.
You gotta shack up or something. She's not built like that, and that is the truth. There is a lot of hoeing around going. I think Atlanta. I'm curious with this whole economic shift. How will it affect dating in Atlanta? How will it affect some of the crazy things that we used to see? Atlanta being the Hollywood of the South, and the requirements from some of the women that were out there. I don't know. Don't care. I'm married. But actually, I do care in a way because it is funny to watch, okay? But it is true to say, true to form, to say that if you come to Atlanta, my suggestion to alleviate that, you do want to do something like, if you got a roommate, if you can know a cousin, staying with family, save some money, keep some money in your pocket, you know? If you're going to rent a house, you probably do want to go outside of the city. And it sucks, but it's still, I don't truly believe in the city is still the best way for you to go. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But there are some good places. You know, it depends on where you want to live, because cheaper in Atlanta doesn't always mean safe. Okay, I'm just telling you, it doesn't always mean safe. Matter of fact, 99.9% of the time, it doesn't mean safe. Okay, all right. But we're going through a big change, and one of the biggest things that's causing this in the city, and a lot of people don't say it, they won't talk about it. The taxes went up. Insurance companies left Georgia. Some of them left Georgia. And with the increase of taxes, simply because we had massive appreciation, we are dealing with this. Because just like apartment complexes raise their rate, individual owners have to raise their rate because they have to offset the cost that they are now getting through taxes. If their house goes up in value, and it can be commercial property, it can be, and this is commercial, apartments are commercial, multi. If they're going up and being appreciated for more, your tax bill is going to be higher. And that's going to roll over to the renter, and that's really what it is. So we've seen, I believe, in Atlanta, a decrease this past year in people actually coming to the city of Atlanta. And I may be wrong. But I believe we've seen a decrease taking place in people moving to the city of Atlanta. So, living in Atlanta, what is it truly like? Let's talk about this.
I hate to say it, but I'm so excited that Atlanta has finally stopped growing, because once Atlanta stops growing, the rest of these southern cities are going to stop growing. Okay? Atlanta experienced their first growth rate decline in their population in the last 30 years. And it's due to a lot of things, but primarily because of the rising cost of living in the South. The whole purpose of people moving from more expensive regions of the United States to the South was to save their money, right? To make their dollar really stretch.
I think that was good probably in the 90s, chick. Probably in like 2000 to 2010. But man, right after 2000 and right after the mortgage crisis happened, Atlanta just exploded different. Almost like 1996 Olympics exploded. It's just insane. Because it was so cheap and people bought it at such a cheap rate, and people all around everywhere were like, man, it's cheap down here. And they started coming down here or buying down here as an investment. And that caused it to go up. Now, population decline. Why do we have a population decline in this city? I think it's because of people realizing that Atlanta is not an easy place to make it in. It doesn't matter what you think of the city. The grind in Atlanta is like navigating the dynamics of Atlanta is just like navigating the dynamics of New York. It's just doing it in the South in a different way. How do I know? And you don't have public transportation to that level of that caliber that they have in New York. So when you get enough people coming down here and realizing they can't do this type of stuff, we don't offer the same type of, free programs or to that extent that you would get in New York, rent caps and stuff like that. There's still a capitalist society down here. It makes it harder to navigate. You got to come and move with friends and family. You can't come down here and just be doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Too many people come down here and they just do what they want to do when they want to do it. And they think since they're in Atlanta that Jermaine Dupri or some star, they're going to be hanging and chilling with them. And I'm going to Atlanta for this. Bro, that Atlanta is no more right now.
And that's no longer the case. You have rising housing prices. You have rising insurance costs. Now food is just as expensive. I mean, I went to Chicago the other week. It's the same price I'm paying in New Orleans. It's insane. Like, it's just insane what has happened to this country, especially in the South. Now, I'm excited, okay? Because all this means is as the population continues to shrink in these major southern cities, we're gonna start seeing some housing correction, okay? Your girl has been waiting. I think most millennials, especially in the South, have been waiting, okay? Especially if you're native to the South. We've been waiting a long time, okay? Feels like centuries now. It's only been a few years, but it feels like centuries. So I'm excited to see what happens after this. I think Atlanta needs a cool off. I think Orlando, Tampa, I think these southern cities need a cool off, period. Austin is also starting to see a little cool off from that pandemic boost that it got. So, I mean, I'll continue to watch it. I'll continue to report on it. But I feel like, guys, the light at the end of the tunnel is, we can see it, okay? We can see it. Just hang in there, okay?
That pandemic money is dying out now. All these little incentives, all this free money, all this government subsidized shit, all of that. When you have the economy is retracting, when it's coming in, yeah. It makes it harder for people to move around and, oh, I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to chill down there. No. It makes it harder to do that. Not the same. Nowhere near the same. This game has changed. It's changed, and it's changing so freaking fast every doggone day. Yeah. Now, we got to look at it. That's why we have this population decline. The money's not flowing like it used to flow back and forth as easy and as free as it was before.
I feel like things are going to get better in terms of cost of living in the South, girl. We got to get back to our roots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you think about Atlanta, right now today in Atlanta, the National Low Income Housing Coalition released a report that basically says for a person to be able to afford a 2-bedroom unit in Atlanta at fair market rent, they would have to earn a housing wage, an hourly wage of $41.
Oh.
$41. Now, minimum wage in the city, minimum wage in the state, I'm sorry, is $7.25. And so,
I'm telling you, $41 and the minimum wage is $7.21. You cannot live right now unless you have some way to get another bag outside of your job. And if your job is giving you $41, then I'm gonna say
Congratulations, well done.
But some people aren't doing that. And I continuously, I would say this, and I continue to say it, man. You gotta be building a brand, and you gotta be building streams. And those streams gotta come out of your brand, and you can't be afraid to work a job and do your thing. And you gotta know that while you're working your job and you're doing your thing, and you got this business on the side, then you may be doing your content, then you may be doing your job, then do it. Nothing wrong with that. Continue doing it. There is a thing in Atlanta where people are shamed for actually working, for actually putting in effort and building something. Because all these people out here that I come by be fake. They want you to believe that they made it out of the mud, and then you see what they do, and it's like, nah, you probably scammed out of the mud, but they don't have any type of substance to them. And that's not everybody, but it's a good amount. And substance requires you to be able to work and do your hustle and your grind and what you do. I love doing real estate. I love doing deals. I love doing programs with loans. I love doing all those different things. I love affiliate, and I love making my content and being out here and doing that. And when it's time, I also like doing my projects and not letting nobody know. Atlanta is that place where you got to keep this stuff close to your chest now. You can no longer go out here and try to influence or flatter people. You need to be in a place that says, hey, I don't care what people think. You know, I don't care what people think. I'm not here for them. I'm here for me. I'm here for my family. I'm here for our grind. That is the only way you hit that $41 that you need average to live in that city, because you got to realize you got people that still don't do nothing in the city. Or they may do things, but they don't let you know what they do. But this is a city where you got to you can have your bag from your 9 to 5, but you also got to have your grind. Not your grind. I keep saying grind, and I'm getting out of saying that grind. I don't like saying grind because it's like struggle to me. And the culture always says grind, but it's why you want to grind and struggle when God has already given you everything you need for life and godliness. He already said it. So just do your dream, because your passion, but then keep your job. But make sure your passion makes some money, because that's the only way you're going to get that $41 extra thing you need right there. And Atlanta is one of those places where you just can't have linear income. You've got to be tapping in from multiple directions.
That means a person would have to earn close to 6 times the minimum wage to be able to afford housing in this city. Okay, that's important because we can't subsidize our way out of it. So when you think about the public subsidy resources we have to be able to make a development affordable, to be able to help somebody pay their rent, to be able to encourage someone to go to home ownership, those resources only go so far. So while we're tackling the housing issue, we also need to tackle the economic mobility issues in order to ensure that people can earn a living wage in order to be able to afford to have some place to stay.
So if you're going to sit back and wait for subsidies to help you, you're going to be waiting for a long time. You see already, you're going to be waiting a long time for these subsidies. Subsidies aren't the key to actually being successful in this city. And scamming and taking money ain't the key. You're going to get killed out in this mud, okay? But building skills, building talents, getting 1 or 2 licenses, not being so, concerned with the job and what other people think about you. You do that for a little time until you move to the next. And in the course of all of this, build your relationship with God, man, so you can discern and see when you got snakes in your space, and you keep your group tight. You don't gotta always be friends with everybody. All of these things trickle into what the income looks like going into your house. The lie and the misconception is that you need people and people come down to Atlanta to make these connections. No, you just need to be good at what you do. And you need to continue doing it. And you got to have a level of confidence for yourself. And then you got to hold that confidence until people actually say, oh, this dude is good. He's nice. And then you continue doing what you do. Don't run around trying to be everybody's soulmate and friend and best friend. And there ain't no connection that God can't give you. And I keep telling these people that. So you don't never get to the point of making the dough that you need to be successful in this city, because you start on the wrong foot. If you come to this city, you need to come knowing that you're going to be working from the inside out. Don't go looking for people to make you successful. Stop it. Just stop it.
Listen, you coming to Atlanta, listen to me. If you going shopping, if you going to like Lenox malls, any of these malls, whatever, especially Lenox, and just shopping, do not leave nothing in those cars. And be cautious when you go in there and shopping with them, buying all these expensive stuff. Because trust me, you're being watched. So I'm giving you the heads up. If you're coming to Atlanta for the holidays and you're trying to shop, be cautious with your surroundings, because you are being watched, especially going to these malls like Lenox Square Mall. Because I'm telling you, they really be out there during the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Get somebody to walk you to your car. If you're going to get some designer stuff, getting expensive stuff, get somebody to walk you to your car. Because I'm telling you, they out there watching. And you will get got. And don't leave nothing in your cars, because they will be breaking in folks' cars. So I'm telling you now, giving you the heads up. Be cautious when you come.
They will be breaking into your cars. They will be breaking into your cars. Welcome to Atlanta. They will be breaking into your cars. They will be doing it. And, no joke. I'm telling you, that's that place, man. Yo, Live Free, Give Hope, 12monthfreerent.com. I'm an ambassador for the program. We're giving away a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta, fully furnished, utilities included for 1 year. All you got to do is go to 12monthfreerent.com. You don't have to pay anything to jump into this sweepstakes. It is free to enter. But I always know you want to win, because whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people, the place is still going to go, okay? So get yourself some bonus merch. Grab yourself a sweater. Grab yourself a beanie, a hat. It doesn't matter. Every dollar that you spend in there also gives you 1 entry into the sweepstakes, and you can have up to 600 entries in the sweepstakes, guys. Like, follow for more content. I'm about to tap out. This is me. The day's over for doing this. I'm about to go sell some real estate. Let's go do some real estate deals. I'll see you guys on the next show. Real Estate Lunchbox. I appreciate you guys. Y'all be blessed. And remember, God loves you, man. And more importantly, he wants you to realize who you are in him. And that's all that matters.